AutoCAD is not just a 2D product, but also a 3D product. We've been going through how to maneuver our drawings in a 2D perspective, but now we need to look at the 3D perspective. What we're looking at right now is a box, a column, and a cone. When I go to the menu browser, and I select View, and then I select 3D views, I have a series of different views that I can use. A top, a bottom, a left, a right, a front, and a back. We also have southwest isometric, southeast isometric, northeast, and northwest isometric. If I select my bottom view, my data now looks upside down. I can go back in there again and select my right view, and now my data, I'm looking directly on top of my cone and my column. Now that's a little laborious to go to that drop down, so if I right click on any toolbar button, I can select the view option, and now as we see I can toggle between my top and my bottom, my left, my right, my front, my back, and also, as we mentioned, the southwest and southeast isometric, the northeast and northwest isometric. And each one of these allows me to see my 3D data in a different perspective for the purposes of my design and data creation. We have another method of looking at data in 3D, and that's called the 3D orbit. Again, go into the menu browser, going down to the view options and selecting 3D orbit, or orbit. I'm going to select the constrained orbit. And with the constrained orbit, I have kind of a 3D pan button displayed on my screen. So I hold my left mouse button down, and I can pan my data around. You can also right click and select the free orbit, which will give me this diagram to allow me to select how I want to pan it. It gives me just a reference to move my data around. As we see, it's much better to tell that these are cones and boxes and so on. And then I can right click and also select the continuous orbit, which is nothing short of fun. It allows me to left click down, drag my cursor, and the speed at which I release my button is the speed at which my data will rotate and float on the screen. So we can get things floating pretty quickly or pretty slowly. It's really kind of fun, but who knows how useful it really is. Okay, I'm going to type in the word plan and hit enter twice, and that will put me back in my top view that I wanted to. So understand that we have some predefined 3D views that allow us to look at our data in different views as far as its 3D is concerned, and also our orbit option. There's one more option, which is to hold the shift key down on our keyboard and push down the wheel, and that will also give us that 3D orbit type functionality. So again, back into the plan. Gotta spell plan right if you want it to work. And we'll move on to some more 3D stuff here in the next section.